There are a lot of stories we're going to have to cover relating to the Supreme Court nomination by President Trump of Amy Coney Barrett to fill the seat vacated recently by Ruth Ginsburg. We'll talk about a lot of legal issues. All I want to hit on today in today's first five is this argument that the left is turning to, the same argument made by Senator Dianne Feinstein when this same judge was before the Senate Judiciary Committee when she was nominated to serve on the Circuit Court of Appeals. I want to ask Matt, the very wonderful producer, to play a clip by Dianne Feinstein, and then I'm going to tell you why she's so out of line in saying what she said.
Law is totally different. And I think in your case, Professor, when you read your speeches, the conclusion one draws is that the dogma lives loudly within you. And that's of concern when you come to big issues that large numbers of people have fought for years in this country.
There she is, Dianne Feinstein, her famous line, which will probably be a tagline forever, related to the future Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, "Your dogma lives loudly in you." And that's what I want to talk about in today's first five. Number one, the choice of the term dogma. The word dogma is a deliberate choice because dogma carries a connotation of rigidity, intolerance, belligerence, unfairness, just kind of someone in a closed-minded way latching on to something. And that's what she's trying to say, is that she, Feinstein, sees Amy Coney Barrett's commitment to her Catholic faith as dark, as narrow-minded, as intolerant. Now, the word dogma actually does just mean a set of beliefs that are tied to, it can be a church usually, but it's a set of beliefs that you actually believe are true. The person in that exchange who is actually exemplifying dogma is Senator Dianne Feinstein. She's the one who's basically arguing, because you are a Catholic, this nominee before me, since you're Catholic and you actually believe in the doctrines of the Catholic faith, the Christian faith, your values, your views are intolerable. They're unacceptable. You cannot possibly believe in those values and think you can serve on the Supreme Court. It's Feinstein who is narrow-mindedly saying, because she is locked into the left-wing pro-abortion view, that anyone who might threaten that view, anyone who might value life, is not to be tolerated. Feinstein's the one that is truly, if you want to use the word dogmatic or dogma in a negative way, she's the one. But secondly, stop and think about the founding of America, because part of what happens with the American left is they're trying to make the argument that America was just founded on a blank slate. No ideas, anything goes, any values are good enough for us. We have no founding values. That's actually an unspoken assumption by the American left. We have no founding values, we have no founding identity, and anyone with values is somehow intruding on the identity of America. But the exact opposite is true. America was founded, as they say, the birth certificate of America, the Declaration of Independence, actually recites who we are at a very core level. The idea that we all created equal, that we have rights from God because we were born, that all of us have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness just because we were born. That's the birth certificate of America. Those are unflappable ideas. Those are ideas we do not throw away. And these are all ideas that are very contrary to the direction the left is trying to take this country. And this is why Dianne Feinstein and other leftists are so rattled by Amy Coney Barrett, because she actually believes in she believes in her faith. She believes in the founding values of America. She believes in the idea of the virtues and value of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. She believes men are created equal, that we have a right to life. Dianne Feinstein is really trying to tell America that the leftists in this country reject the founding ideas of our Declaration of Independence. That's what she's saying. She's saying we find these ideas abhorrent, the idea that someone could believe in the value of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness and defend that. That's what Feinstein is finding offensive. I want to ask you to think about a couple questions. Just imagine for a moment if you had a nominee for the Supreme Court who was an avowed communist, who actually believed in the communist doctrine. Do you think that that person could actually follow the commitment that judges must make to American law, to the Declaration of Independence, to the Constitution, to the right to own private property, to the right to live in peace, to have the rights that are spelled out in the Bill of Rights? No. A communist person would be incapable. Someone truly committed to communism could not legitimately serve on the Supreme Court. The same is true if someone were committed to Sharia, to Islamic law. If someone said, how I see the world is Islamic law, Sharia is the only right, the highest law, and my goal is to push Sharia in every direction I can in America, that person is not qualified to sit on the United States Supreme Court. America has, for lack of a better term, founding dogma, founding ideas that are very consistent with Christian ideology, which is the basic notion that we have, you and each individual have the right to live in an ordered society with a guarantee from the very beginning of our country, the guarantee that you'll be treated equally, that we have a rule of law, we have a system of justice, that you're guaranteed the right to pursue life, liberty, and your version of happiness. That is founding American dogma. It's the same dogma, if you want to use that term, that Amy Coney Barrett embraces, is what the Christian faith embraces, and this is why Dianne Feinstein and others on the American left find her so troublesome, because she will stand up for her values, and she will stop the left in its tracks from using the court system, from imposing leftist ideas onto American society when they couldn't get those ideas passed in elected legislative bodies. What will happen with Amy Coney Barrett, besides that she will get confirmed after all the screaming and shouting and is done, she'll be confirmed, she'll sit on the court, and we'll have a court a tiny bit closer to the idea of what a court is supposed to do, which is to apply the law, not make up law, and not give credence and not act as a legislature moving America in the direction the left wants, instead of doing their job as judges, which is to follow and apply the law and the Constitution. And that, my very fine friends, is today's First Five.